Kind day to you all. I am Kinsmarck, and this is Chapter 1 of Let's Play Homefront: The Revolution. A day that I had hoped I could avoid, because this is, of course, the sequel to the first game I ever completed a series for here on the channel, Homefront. And I have call it a special relationship with that game, because I absolutely hated it. And yet, it holds that dubious honor for me as a Let's Player. Because of my appreciation for that first game, I avoided the sequel completely until now, and I seriously questioned Crytek's judgment in actually picking the series up after it changed hands. More on that in a moment. I currently have access to this game through a free weekend on Steam, and as a favor to the same friend who convinced me to play the first game, currently on active duty with the United States Marine Corps, I am playing the sequel. I love you and I hate you, man, and you know who you are. So I'm gonna charge through this as fast as I can and try to complete it in the short time that I have access to it. Now, I want to clarify for you all straight away just how convoluted this thing's development cycle was, because it changed hands more than an unwanted stepchild on Christmas, alright? Homefront, the original, was first developed through Chaos Studios. You remember them, the folks who dragged the name of John Milius through the mud, claiming he had a much larger hand in writing that game than he actually did. Shortly after announcing a sequel, despite the first game's mixed reviews, Chaos shut down due to the dissolution of their publisher THQ, and development of the sequel shifted over to the newly formed Crytek UK, who had purchased the license after THQ's assets were sold off at auction. Crytek then started work on a sequel of their own design, only for its development to then halt as the company fell on hard times, and the license was then passed to Koch Media, owners of the publisher Deep Silver, who then passed development of it off to their in-house development studio Dambuster Studios, composed, ironically enough, of the remaining staff who still had jobs from Crytek UK. Confused yet? Me too! And that, my friends, is where the chain of custody ends. And there's a reason I once joked that the Homefront name is cursed. So strap in, because it's time to crack the seal on this hazardous waste dump and start a new story.
It started back with the Apex Corporation in the 70s, and the birth of Silicon River in North Korea. Even back then, their tech was way ahead of what was coming out of America. We bought everything they could sell, from phones to tablets to just about anything. And when they started making weapons, well, we couldn't resist. Our wars in the Middle East had been getting worse and worse, one leading straight to the next. Even after that terrible day in Riyadh, we kept fighting as our country fell apart. And still, we bought Apex to give us an edge. As the dollar tanked, our debt to North Korea spiraled. Unemployment rocketed, and the country was on its knees. The failing government defaulted on the debt, and the North Koreans made their decision. Every piece of technology they'd sold us had a back door. They turned off our military with a single button press. The first KPA troops on U.S. soil were sent to be there to rebuild. But after the early aid packages, there was only brutality. They stole our liberty and our freedom. America is under control of the KPA. But she will rise again. You are the revolution.
Hello and welcome to KAC. I'm Subin Kang. Today's top story, Preparations begin today for the much-anticipated Patriots' Day parade. This auspicious calendar event celebrates the contribution of the liaison officers who work tirelessly to bridge the gap between the emergency administration and the ordinary citizens. To ensure the safety of the citizens during the parade, Mayor Simpson has vowed to redouble anti-terrorist efforts and has allocated additional peacekeeper resources to tackle any and all criminal activity in the lead-up to the parade. Mayor Simpson has just released the following statement.
We all know only too well the threats we face daily here in Philadelphia. The bombings, the shootings, all orchestrated by Benjamin Walker's national network of terror. Rest assured, we will bring these criminals to justice.
Peacekeeper patrols keep our streets safe and secure for all citizens. Thanks to improved threat recognition systems in our drones, potential terrorists can be identified and neutralized swiftly.
That fucking guy. He calls us terrorists after what he's done?
He wouldn't be so confident if he knew Walker was right here in Philly.
Yeah. Walker's really gonna stir things up. How long till he's due?
5 minutes. Hope one of those new drones doesn't scan him. Are we ready?
Think so. Fucking hope so. It's something, eh, Brady? Only been, 3 days with us? And you're gonna meet Walker in person? He's the whole reason I'm here.
He's inspired all of us. Brady, can you pass me some gas? Thanks. I guess Walker was a legend in Washington too, huh? I heard a little about what happened there. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here with us now.
Hey guys, there's something weird. The street's deserted.
What?
Shit, is it us?
Fuck, Walker's gonna be here any minute!
Out! Get out!
We don't tell him nothing, Brady. You hear?
Hello. Thank you for waiting so patiently. We can get started now. So, you are gonna tell me where I can find Benjamin Walker.
You're wasting your time here. The last thing I heard, Walker was down in Memphis.
You know I have superpowers?
Fuck your powers, you pathetic little traitor.
Oh, sounds like someone needs a demonstration. I'll show you exactly how powerful I am. I take my hand like this. I point.
Barry.
And...
Do it, you son of a bitch!
No! No!
Ain't that something? So, how about it? You ready to talk now?
I'll tell you.
I'm getting tired of your bullshit! Start talking! I won't go so easy on you. It's Walker. Wait! Wait! Fuck you.
Walker, we're getting out of here. Oh, shit.
cut them some credit here, because they've actually managed to make the story make at least a little more sense than the first game. I still have some issues about it, considering China's influence over the state of North Korea, especially in the era in which they're saying they made such strides forward. Even so, they are at least giving an explanation for their ascension to power such that they could actually threaten the continental US. So, contextual gray areas notwithstanding, this is already standing on firmer feet than the first game.
We should be safe here for now, but the Norks will tear the district apart looking for us.
I am compelled to ask if I can actually play at some point, though.
Fuck, I picked a bad time to get shot.
Because I can't tell if this is a game or a movie.
This phone is our ticket to safety, if you can find a network transceiver and hack into it.
Uh-huh.
That'll connect us to the hidden resistance signal and show us the closest safe house.
Alright.
Here, take it.
Oh, I'm actually playing now. Cool! I can have interactions! And man, this frame rate is rough.
We're working blind here. You need to find a resistance stash. That should have intel on the district, including transceiver locations. But hurry, Brady, we don't have long.
Alright. So,
They will
interesting.
find us. We have to locate a safe house.
Can't say I'm all that sad to see the power-hungry ass there in the cutscene to start off get what was coming to him. I'm just admiring the scenery, man. Also, is he a character I should recognize? Because he seems like a potential throwback to the first game. I just couldn't care less about the story of that game at the time that I actually played it, so I can't remember almost any of the names aside from Connor, Captain Murica, whom I assume was killed at the end of that game. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen that series, because, man, I'll just again say, for anyone that is coming at this fresh for my opinions about the Homefront core narrative, I thought the first game was an absolute mess that didn't take enough time to explain itself, and I criticized its plausibility. And access smartphone. Use your smartphone's journal application to read collected journals and tutorials. Alright, so that's the archive. Acknowledge straight away that my refusal to accept the plausibility of the first game's narrative isn't coming from a place of, alrighty, American patriotism, because I ain't really all that hardcore into that mindset. It's just the sheer logistics of it. As it currently stands, North Korea could not, just practically speaking, could not actually pose a continental threat to the United States. So since that first game's narrative didn't manage to establish any chronological separation from real-world history, it seemed completely off the wall and like a near paranoid psychotic delusion that they could pose the threat that they did in that game. Again, this is distancing itself from actual history on a factor of, I think, 50 years, if I'm reading this game's timeline correctly. So that's enough time for different events to have come to pass. So I'll actually allow this some time to find its own feet a little more and see how it goes. I am attempting to approach this as open-mindedly, like a round through the skull as possible. So anyway, let's see here. Transponder, journal, I assume I should check that since it's telling me to for the tutorial. Phone apps, tutorial, alright. Your cell phone contains several applications designed to help you in your role as a resistance fighter. Mission Log provides more detailed information about your active mission thread plus current objectives. A shortcut allows you to jump to the objective location in the Map app. You can scroll to see all previous threads and objectives completed. A tab allows you to view details of any active and completed strike points or jobs chosen from the job board. Alright. Map displays a top-down map of the current location with icons representing key locations. The legend of all icons is available on the map screen. Alright, so this is all cut and dry. I can fast travel to any unlocked locations on the map. Cool. Pardon me. Messages contains all read and unread text messages from your contacts. Camera allows photographs to be taken, required for some missions and jobs. Includes a high-level zoom for scoping out potential targets and threats. Alright, cool. Visually highlights enemy infantry, drones, vehicles, turrets. Highlighting an enemy will tag it, placing an icon above it in world, allowing to track through walls. Alright, so I'm already seeing the comparisons a lot of folks made at launch for this game, that it plays similarly to a Ubisoft game. I can sense that about it already. Handbook contains all tutorials, documents, and notes you find throughout Philadelphia. Transponder, an application used to track hidden stashes. When a stash is within range, the smartphone app will be... Alright, so almost stalkerish there. Man, I hesitate to make that comparison. If you access the transponder app at that point, there'll be a visual sonar display accompanied by audio beeps. The closer to the item you are, the faster it... Okay, so it's almost like anomaly detection. Cool. The transponder will have no signal until the network transceiver in the zone is hacked. Alright. So, close that out. I'll check the rest of that later. So, the Independent. Can I actually, like, do things now? Man, this color grading is a little harsh on the eyes, although I think that's intentional. Can I actually find something in one of these at some point? Ugh. Alright. Also, I'm... Oh, hi. Hi, folks. You just ignore me. You didn't see me, eh? Anyway, I'm aiming at roughly half-hour episodes for this series. However, because I anticipate, since I know this is an open-world game, I may have to cut certain segments out as I... you know, cross areas and just collect craftable components, because again, I know that is in this game. Episode duration may fluctuate a little, because I can hardly keep track of just how much time I cut out of certain episodes. And, ooh, hey there, aircraft. I assume that's Apex technology. Interesting. So, man, they actually did a good job of making these environments look alive and lived in, so credit there. Creepy drone scanning people. I just circle around this. Hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, alright, cool. Apprehending those terrible terrorists that... oh, did the drone just scan me? Oh, God, hi. Am I free to go? Are you detaining me? Alright, I assume that's a yes. Whoa. I'm just... making my way downtown, walking fast because I don't want to get shot. Okay. Hi. I'll keep my distance. Man. Constant scans coming from everywhere is actually genuinely unnerving. So I see they have made some significant infrastructural changes around here. Can at least move it. Also, the news lady. Is it just me, or was her lip-syncing? Because clearly lip-syncing is an issue in all of the characters in the cutscenes of this game, at least as far as I can tell so far. She seemed so off, though, and her movements seemed so stiff and robotic that I actually wonder if she is an AI or something, or just a pre-programmed, like, text-to-speech program that comes with a face, because she did not seem like an actual human. The Resistance often mark hidden routes and access points with blue. Okay, so color training for my eyes. I see. Can I jump this? I can. Okay, cool. Space to climb. I hope... Pay close attention when exploring Philadelphia. The Resistance... Oh, okay. They mark with special symbols. No water. Interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out for the symbols. I actually sincerely hope that I appreciate this game more than the first, because so far, I'm just a few minutes in, even so, though, I do. Like, it isn't coming across as quite such a disturbing delusion as the first game's paranoia about the threat that North Korea could pose. I still think, though, honestly, that as antagonists, and just for sheer plausibility's sake, China would have served as a much more acceptable role in this story, as far as them actually posing the threat that this claims they do. Anyway, valuables are found throughout the city of Philadelphia. You can trade them for cash at any open vendor. Okay, cool. So I assume I just pulled electronics out of a radio or whatever that thing is, or is that a router? I don't know. I harped on a lot of those issues in the first series, though, so until this really provokes me, which who knows, it may still, I'll save my criticisms for once it's actually relevant. Stashes are secret locations where the Resistance have stored emergency supplies and ammunition. Take anything you need. Alright, cool. Man, this gray scaling is actually the most significant complaint I have so far, because it's just so hard to differentiate things with such little contrast. Alright, flashlights. Let's see. Don't let it scan you. Go for the eye. I assume that's a hint about how to fight them. That looks like an armored vehicle. Something... Oh. They censored their own text! Fucking shoot this! The yellow things on them. Okay. I don't know why that's the vulnerability point. That seems like the point they would reinforce the most, because it's, you know, like, the ramming part of the vehicle. Anyway. Man, for some reason I'm almost getting like a Dishonored vibe off of some of this. Alright, so generic papers and magazines. Walker, voice of freedom. Also a Texas Ranger! Alright, anyway. So, January 16th, 2025. Alright, ooh, cutters. I'll take those. Can I have a hammer? I've already seen how effective they are. Bolt cutters can be used to cut security locks. Cool. Medkit. Alright. Is that like a codex of some kind? It is. Whoa. The education camps. Neighbors, we at the CCC want to raise some serious concerns we have regarding the education camps. We ask you, why has the government seen fit to introduce these now? They claim the cities are unsafe and the children were evacuated for their own protection, but we believe differently. Why has no date been set for their return? Why is communication so sporadic? The truth? Our children were not moved to protect them. Rather, they are now hostages to our good behavior. We urge all of you to be brave and to show the authorities this tactic will not succeed by registering your disapproval with your liaison officer. If enough people join the campaign to enter the camps, they will have to listen to us. Ha ha ha! Ah, how naive you are. Safety is in numbers, so please sign the petitions or submit a complaint directly and let's get the children back home. Concerned Citizens Coalition. All you're doing is assigning names to dissident reports, so you're really shooting yourselves in the foot there. That's probably an initiative that agents of the North Koreans are spurring on, so that you'll name yourselves for their authorities to then apprehend. Or maybe that's my own paranoia leaking into this. Anyway, yeah, journal, map. Where am I? Can I check the map and actually see my place in all this? Alright, so I'm heading that way, apparently. Can I zoom this out? I can. Alright, so this is the green tree yellow zone, or at least that's the area I'm in. Is this the entire map? Or is this just one region of it? Can't tell at this juncture. Man, it's so strange that V is like the escape key here. That's gonna take some getting used to. So I really just came up here for the cutters and the flashlight then. Alright. Insulated cable. CPU. Alright, man, this is actually a slow start to this game, considering the action that it sold itself on. Alright. Moody soundtrack. I actually do kind of like the music. I am glad they put that shimmery effect on collectible or openable things, because otherwise, hell, I'd never know what the hell I could pick up, because this environment actually is fairly detailed. Okay, can I sprint? Ooh, hello.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Cool hood there, matey. I just noticed there's like a crate-looking thing on the minimap. Is that... Oh, that's the stash, because that's the apartment I just came from. Okay, cool. Alright, so clearly... Yeah, alright, so circles in red on the minimap are occupation forces. Noted. Alright, all of us are getting scanned. Can I just avoid you folks, because you seem like you're provoking the authorities. Alright. Cool truck you got there. Can't get it that way. Alright, let me test something. How close can I get to these guys? 'Cause do I just need to actually avoid them? Oh, I can actually pass him. Why did those guys earlier get so mad at me? Because they almost seemed like they were about to friggin' shoot me. I see a dollar sign. Market stalls allow you to sell valuables in exchange for money. Okay, cool. Can I actually do that? Yeah, right. So, health pack, explosives, incendiaries, distractions, hack devices, chemicals, batteries, propellants, igniters, sell valuables. Alright, so that's just auto sale. Man, this really is like a Ubisoft game. Alright. Your inspirations here. Hi. Oh, I see. No exchange, no return. Sold as seen. Indeed. need. Alright, I don't think that juxtaposition was intended, although I think it's just as valid. Alright, oh, here we go. Use the cutters to free the fence panels. Can I do that? There we go. Clip, clip. You didn't see anything. Avert your eyes! See ya! Hack the KPA transceiver. Alright. So, KPA, Korean People's Army? Is that the acronym there? I assume it is. What? How do I... Oh, I probably do need to go into that window. Oh, can I open that window? What the hell? Can I smash it? Because I didn't actually grab the hammer. The first puzzle... Alright, again, they mark things with colors, so that's my indication that I have to climb. Alright, almost mirrors Edge that way, except with a different color than red. Hack network transceivers to reveal nearby points of interest. Alright. Anything to collect in here? I hope I can change this field of view, because this cramped camera angle is already starting to get to me. Okay, access the panel and move the mouse to find the KPA access code. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Liberty 7! Alright. Apex Secure Gateway... what? What am I... What am I... Whoa! Okay, I did a thing. What did I did? I just waggled my mouse around and clicked a few times and something happened. I think I just got hurt. What the hell? What was that? What just happened? I'm not just an idiot, right? Like, that was really unclear. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, connected. Alright, so... It just says access the panel and move mouse to find the KPA access code. Like, what am I... What am I doing here? Oh, wait. Whoa. Oh, I have to hold the clicks down. Oh, alright. Yeah, it's a proximity thing. Alright. It isn't telling me to hold any clicks down. Alright, that's strange. Alright, once more. I might die doing this. So, okay, there we go. That's the halfway point for that. Whoa, jeez. Oh, okay. Alright, so... Nailed it! I think I accomplished it. Hey! Alright, that's a strange minigame. Alright, so it's a weird little, like, time trial thing. Okay, so... That's... something? What is that? That's a tunnel. Okay! Cool! Confusion setting in already. You can now use the transponder. Whoa, something's happening. Uh-oh. She just walked through a car. She's a ghost. Y'all ain't concerned about the ghost? Alright, cool. It's just a hopping vampire? Is that a Korean thing? That's a Chinese thing. Oh, whatever. Ah, crap, they got Walker. His name is rather ironic now, anyway, come to think of it.
This changes nothing.
Believe it. That's
You
Walker.
hear me?
Oh my God.
Others will rise up. You can't stop.
I can't hear him very well, game. Because you made the dialogue of the onlookers louder than his.
Security operation is occurring.
Yeah, crack to the temple kinda cuts out your sense of style there, sir. Alright. So that's Walker apprehended. Oh, okay, the resistance tunnel entrance. Alright then, I shall do that in the next episode, because I think that is as good a place as any to cut this one. Again, critical first impressions. I have some issues about some of the, like, aesthetic presentation here, because the cramped FOV that I'll check prior to starting the next episode if I can change. And the color grading, it's just, I don't know, it's abrasive on the eyes, because there isn't enough contrast, I don't think. That and seemingly chugging frame rate in certain points are really the only issues that I have so far. I hope this continues to explain itself more than the first game did, because if it does, I can at least take this game's story at face value instead of hating it for its very fundamental narrative from start to finish the way that I did the first game. So that if I can take issue with this game, it's with the story that it's telling, not the premise that that story stands upon. So I think there's a significant nuance to the difference there. So anyway, I'll continue this soon here on the channel because, again, I'm attempting to complete this in as few sessions as I can, so apologies in advance if it seems like I am ignoring any input in the comments. It's because I haven't seen any of them since I'll already have this game completed at the time that the first episode even goes live. So keep that in mind as one proceeds through the series. So thank you all kindly for watching. Consider checking out our Patreon if you want to help me continue to keep this channel alive. Man, one of these days I'll actually get my outro right, especially for the first episode of a series. Anyway, I am Kinsmarck here at Let's Play Quest, and as always, wish you all good gaming and Godspeed.